Welcome everyone, this is Chris from Docketwise, and I'm pleased that you were able to attend our webinar on Matter workflows with Matter types and Matter statuses. In this webinar, we will be covering what is a Matter workflow and how does it work, creating and editing Matter workflows, assigning and updating Matter types and statuses, tracking a Matter status, reporting with Matter workflows, and finally, we'll be getting into automations with workflows. So let's jump into it. First, I'm going to navigate to set up a new workflow. So I'll click on Settings here and click the option for Matter workflows. First, we're going to need to know what a Matter workflow is and how it works exactly. So a Matter workflow is made up of a Matter type and its corresponding Matter statuses. A Matter type, as you can see here, is just the type of Matter it is, whether it's removal of conditions, naturalization, adjustment of status, and so on. And then we have the Matter statuses, which are essentially the steps that this Matter will take from its inception to its completion. These Matter workflows allow you to keep better track of your matters by allowing you to monitor the progress of your matters and unlocking important metrics for reporting on matters. Also, with Matter workflows, you are able to create a custom workflow with the option to add automations to each time a matter progresses through its statuses. Now that we know what a Matter workflow is, let's move on to creating and editing a new Matter workflow. So I already navigated here just by getting to settings and then Matter workflows. And now that I'm here, I could either create a new workflow or import one of our templated workflows. For this example, I'm just going to create a new workflow from scratch. So I'll click the Create Workflow button. And here we have the option for the name. This will be the name of the Matter type. So this one I'm going to do for naturalization based on 5 years of permanent resident status. So I'll call that naturalization. And in parentheses, I'll put 5 years LPR. Also, we have the option to duplicate all existing Matter statuses from another Matter workflow if we want to, but as I mentioned, I'm just going to do this from scratch just so we can go step by step in creating a new Matter workflow. So I'll click Create Matter Type here. And then I can scroll down and see it here. So I can either create a status or import an existing status from another Matter workflow. Here, I'll do create status. I'll add a few steps here. So let's say we want to add one for pretty much just the same title as this. So actually, if I didn't want to make it from scratch, or if I did want to make it from scratch, I would just type in the name here. So I'll do that for the first one. And then also you see here we have options to edit this as well, setting the duration and setting some automations. I'll add that step a little bit later in once I get to basically the skeleton of my Matter workflow set up, that is the durations and the automations that I would like to see. So I'll click Save here. And now we have our first one. So the next step we want to add would be preparing forms and assembling package. So I'll click Create Status. And then I'll click Save here as well. And then now we'll add another step for package ready for attorney review. And we'll save this one as well. Next, we would want to add a step for obtaining client signature. So I'll actually import this one right here. So we can click from our list, obtaining client signatures and filing fees. Next, we would want to add, let's say, case filed, so we can import that one as well. And let's continue to add the rest. So receipt notices, biometrics, RFE. Receipt notices. Then we'll add biometrics. Biometric notices received. Let's add interview. Let's add RFE. And finally, let's add interview, or case approved, sorry. So now after we have all of these matter statuses here, I have the option to edit all of these. I can change the order if I want, to drag and drop. And as you can see, I actually have the order here incorrect according to what the procedure that I would like, or the workflow that I would like to have. So instead, RFE should be, of course, before interview. So I'll move that there. And now I can go ahead and edit all of these just how I would like to. So this is naturalization, as I had said, naturalization based on 5 years of permanent resident status in the United States. So I'll click on this first status. Let's say I want to set the duration. What a duration basically is it is saying how long should a matter be in this particular status. And if that time elapses, if that date passes for the due date that was set by this, it will then be flagged basically as a late matter. So I'll set a duration. Let's say I would expect question and document collection just for 5-year LPR. Since there's no bona fide evidence needed, let's say we're going to expect this to be done within 5 days. If it's over 5 days, then we'll have it automatically marked as late. And let's also say I want to send out a message to the client. What this is here, I have the option to have an automation. So whenever this matter type is put into this matter status, these automations would accompany that action of having it be put into that status. So let's say when it reaches this status, it would send out a message and or add a task list to the matter as well. So I'll put in, let's say one of these here. Let me see, document checklist. Okay, so I'll put in this one just for example's sake. I know it's not the right one. And then let's also send out the welcome email that we'll be sending for our clients. So also you'll see here for tasks, we do have the option to move the matter to the next status when all of the tasks are complete. But since I'll be sharing basically a document checklist with my clients, they'll be the ones checking off those items, and I don't want it automatically sent. So I'll leave this blank. So I'll save this, and we'll just go on to edit the rest of the steps in this matter. So for preparing forms and assembling the package, of course, we would want to have a checklist for the caseworker on this, and we'll also set a duration. So I believe this should probably take about 2 days, and the task list we'll put on here is just a due diligence checklist for our caseworker to be following as they prepare and review that package. So here I do have the option set so that when all tasks are complete, it will move it on to the next status in the matter. So we have this, no need to send the client a message. And I did forget to add, oh no, I think I did add the duration, so let's check. We do have that. Yep, the duration is appearing. And let's say package ready for attorney review. Let's say essentially this should be taking about, let's say 1 day. So we'll put a duration for 1 day. And then we can save this, no task list or message needed here. And let's move on to our next status. So obtaining client signatures and filing / bio fees. We should, expect this, I would say, to be around 2 days. And let's say that we want to select the task list. So the task list that we want will be, just double check, signatures and fees. And let's say we also want to send a message to the client. This message will basically just be letting them know that we need the filing fees, the bio fees, and that we'll also be providing them instructions on reviewing the form, scanning it back for us to get the signed page, as well to include in the filing. So we'll do signature and filing bio fees for naturalization. This one right here, 5 years LPR, and then we'll save this one. So actually, let's say that we even want this one to be moving it to the next status when they're all completed. So once those are checked off, we can have it automatically go into the next status. All right, so now we have case filed. this should essentially be taking 31 days. And if it goes late, then we would of course have that flagged and possibly have it possibly follow up with USCIS to see what is the status, has it been received, basically what's going on. So for this one, I'll add an email. The case was filed, of course, letting the client know that the package was mailed out. So we have one for that. Let's choose it for, sorry, that would be the message. So we'll say case filed. Let me just find that one. Case package mailed to USCIS. So we'll include this message to the clients when it is put into this status. Next, we have receipt notices received. Let's say I also want to send a message to the clients, just to let them know that we have received that. So I'll send out another email just when it is put into that matter. And let's say biometrics received. Oh, I did mess that up. So receipt notices received should be here. So I'll put that one in here, correct that mistake. And then I'll put the biometrics received in this correct status here. And let's say finally, we're just going to add a case approval message to the clients once that comes to fruition. So case approved, 5-year LPR, and I'll save that. So now that we have all of this ready, basically we can go ahead and jump into how we will assign a matter to a matter workflow or updates the matter type and matter status. The first thing we'll want to do is I'll just go to the dashboard and I'll create a new matter. Actually, let me create a new contact first, just so he will have an email address. So let's make the client. And I will create that contact. From here, I'll just create the matter. And here is where we basically will be inputting the matter type and status. So I'll assign this real quickly. It's going to be naturalization based on 5 years of permanent resident status. And you can see here that just by default, it will choose the first step. If you want to, you can of course change that, but you will have to select one of these statuses in order to continue. So we'll give this a name. Let's say it's naturalization, of course. There's the name. And then we can go ahead and create this matter. So now that we have this created, we'll go over to the matter and we can see that it is already within the correct matter type and matter status that we had wanted. So next, we can actually go over here. For this next option, we'll select the checkbox next to the client's, next to the matter, sorry, that we would like to assign a status and or type. So we'll check that box, click the More Actions button, and then we'll click on the option for update type or status. And here I can just, of course, select the type and or status. So I'll select this one here as well, just the same one. And I'll put it, let's say, we know it's filed and we're waiting for biometrics, or sorry, the receipt notices still. So we'll put it just in case filed. All right, so next we'll go on to the other option for a matter that has already been created as well. So we have this client right here. Let me just make sure, yes, he does have an email address. So let's go ahead. So once we are here, what this is called is the matter overview page, where I can just basically see the overview of this particular matter. From here, I'm going to click the update matter details option right here. And just as we had seen when we were creating a new matter, we have these same options. So I will click matter type first. Let's say this is another naturalization based on 5 years of permanent resident status. And we are just starting out as well. So we'll put it into the questionnaire and document collection status. And then we can just go ahead and update the matter. So after the matter type and status are selected, we can see the matter status bar on the matters overview page. There we can see and update the matter's status. So I can even click here to put it into the next step. I'll just show you an example real quickly. So I can progress it through just by clicking on the matter status bar. But let's revert, keep it back in the first status for now. So this is one of the, I guess, various ways that I could keep track of the matter's progress by using matter workflows. So as you can see here, you can see that this bar is currently green. That is basically to signify that the matter is not late. If we were to have a late matter, then we would of course be seeing this bar in red. So I can just go ahead and show an example real quickly. Let's just search for that contact. I know this particular matter is late. So we can see that this bar is red. And what that basically, as I had mentioned before, this just means that the matter is late. So the allotted time that we had put in for the duration of this matter status, that date has been passed. So of course, we are considering this to be a late matter. So as soon as I progress this out, it will of course update the status due date because it will be in the next status, and it will once again be put into an on-time green color. So we update that, and then we see this is all updated and we are on time for this. We have the package ready for attorney review, and then just we can follow up with that. If it does not get completed by this date and it turns to the 25th, of course, we will see this be in red again and know that the time we had thought it should be spending in that status has passed and something, of course, should be done. So if I want to look at matters that are running behind, if I want to look at, let's say I want to find out which matters are late, of course, we'll want to be able to do that. So I can do that. I can do that from the matters dashboard or from reports. But let's say I want to do it from the matters dashboard here. So I will choose the filter option, and I want to see all matters that are behind schedule, let's say. So I'll choose late status and of course click on late. And I can see all of these here. These are the matters that are running behind schedule. So let's say that we want to see all matters that are late in a report. So we can go to make a report. Let's say we want to just, wrong option. So we want to make a report. So we can choose any matter report. Let's say we just want to see matters by type. We'll just do that for an example. And then we can also have the same filter here that we had on the matters dashboard to filter just for late cases. So we can see here, in this report, we see that there are a total of 3 late cases. We can see which matter type they are here, and then just what step or what status they are in as well. So while we are in reports, let's take a look at other important things that we are able to do. We are able to use matter types and status filters in tandem with other filters such as assignees, late statuses, and date created, as you can see up here at the top. So when utilizing matter workflows, we are able to unlock another layer of matter reports in Docketwise. For example, by running a report on matters by status and filtering for late matters, we could use this information if we notice any patterns emerging to make the changes to our procedure, workflow, case assignment, caseworker workload, among many other things. So that is one of the great things that we are able to uncover by reporting, by utilizing matter workflows. So let's say we also want to see how many matters we have of each type. So I'll go back to reports, and we want to see the results grouped by matter type, of course. So sorry about that. Matters. So we have matters by type and matters by status. Matters by type will, of course, group the results that are shown in the reports by their type, and matters by status will, of course, group the matters by their status. If that status is the same across matter types, they will be in the same grouped results in this report, which comes quite in handy to basically be looking into your processes and look to see where improvements can be made when necessary. So as I had mentioned, let's say we want to see matters by type. We just want to see how many matters we have done or are working on for each type. So we'll do matters by type. That will group our matters into groups by their type. So we see here we have our AOS one step, removal of conditions, and then just the two naturalization, basically cases that we are doing. So we can see here, of course, where we have AOS one step as our basically main source of business, followed by removal of conditions, and then the two other naturalizations. Even if these were added up, that would not exceed the cases that we have for removal of conditions. So here we can also see how many matters, let's say, we have that are late for each matter type. So again, we'll just use the late status filter. Let's say we want to see only late, and then we can see the only the two cases where this is happening would be for removal of conditions and for naturalization marriage-based. Let's say we want to clear this filter, and I want to see how many cases for each type have been approved. So I could also do this as well. So I'll just use the matter statuses filter, and of course we'll just click approved. So case approved right here. We'll filter this right here, and then we can see how many cases of each type have already been approved. We don't have any naturalization based on 5 years of permanent resident status, just these three right here. And then we can also see who are the assignees. We can filter by assignees as well. So let's say I'm the attorney managing a group of caseworkers, and basically I just want to see which cases are RFE'd right now, who have a pending RFE. So of course I can go to matter status, since I have a matter status for that, and then I will click on RFE here. I can see which cases they are for, or which matter types they are for as well. So we see here we have just 2 RFEs currently that are pending. One is for naturalization marriage-based, and the other is for AOS one step. Now let's also say, just a hypothetical scenario. Let's say that we just brought on a new clients. They are ready to start, and we just need to get that assigned to the right person, of course. So what we could use here, I would use the users report and then do matters by user. This way I could see all of the matters that are assigned to each user. And here, what's important that I can unlock is I can filter by the matter status to see, of course, I can see how many matters are assigned to each of my caseworkers. This is me. These are my caseworkers. So I can see 20, 20, 18. I mean, it's pretty even, right? But of course, many of these cases are just currently pending with USCIS and aren't actively being worked on. So I could filter by matter status and see which cases are currently being worked on. So I could see where we have the most capacity, which caseworker would have the capacity to work on something that has less currently being worked on assignments. So here I'll filter for questionnaire and document collection. And just because there's a lot of going back and forth with the client, I know for filling out the questionnaire, getting the right documentation in, and then of course preparing forms and assembling a package. I'll put these just as the two to determine who has the most available capacity. So from here, since we're already grouped by user, let's say I'll filter myself out here just because I'm the attorney and I want to see the caseworkers. So I'll filter for the caseworkers and then click update. So here we have the matter statuses for questionnaire and document collection and preparing forms and assembling package. So obviously we have quite a big discrepancy here. We have this person with 7 cases currently being worked on. I could see maybe I would want to even reassign some of these to another caseworker who has more capacity at the moment. And then of course, assign a new matter to the caseworker that has most available capacity, which I will use this particular caseworker for signing a new matter. So finally, let's look at matter workflows in action as we progress an entire case from start to finish. So I already have a matter created for this, and let's say that I would like to assign that caseworker, just knowing what we know from that past report. So I will find here I know I have it ready to go. It's already assigned to myself as the attorney. Let's assign it to the other member as well. So it was Chris Topher, and I will update this matter just to assign that to him. So I know we have more evenly distributed workload. So let's just open this matter up. And of course, we will need to update this matter. So we'll choose the type. Let's say it's also naturalization, 5 years, LPR status, and we'll put it into questionnaire and document collection. So we'll go ahead, we'll update the matter, and we have this bar here. So going back to automations, as I had mentioned before, I have actually a checklist and an email being sent to the clients by putting it into this matter status. And now, since we have it put into the first status with that updated, let's go to the tasks. So we can see that we have the task list for all of the documents we need in order to file this initial package for naturalization. And then also we have a message that was sent to the clients here. So this message basically just reads, I'll open this up. It's giving them and basically thanking them for choosing us, and then letting them know that we will be opening up the client portal. We will put a copy of the engagement letter and retainer agreement there for review and signature, a copy of invoice, list of documents to be uploaded, and an online questionnaire to fill out. So I'll go ahead and complete those steps before I update the matter status. So forms, share this, share the portal. Need a portal set up, so just go to the client. Here we go. And now let's return to his matter. So I have the form. I will go ahead and share that with my client. Share that. I have some files to share and some tasks. Let's share these tasks that were created for him. And these will be shared directly to his portal so he knows exactly which documents we need from him. Now we'll move on to files. I'm going to upload both of these, share it to portal. And finally, we have an invoice to share with him as well. And we'll click share to portal here. So let's say that we have received all the documents that we need and that we are ready to start preparing the forms, finish preparing the forms, review the forms, and then just continue to assemble the complete package. So I'll go over to overview. We're ready to progress this into the next matter. I'll go ahead and check these off. These are all finished, and then we'll put it into the next matter status. So we are preparing forms and assembling package for attorney review. And since we have done this, of course, we now should have a task list appearing of due diligence. And once all this is checked off, since we have the option selected in matter status or under the matter workflow or the matter status, in particular, that once all tasks are checked off, it will go into the next status. So let's see that in action. We are in the second status, and we will be checking these tasks off. Say we did everything here, and there we go. So next, we have it already in the next status, package ready for attorney review. Perfect. We have no task lists or no messages being sent out here. So next, when we actually go to this fourth status, we will have a checklist generated as well as a message going out to the client, letting them know that the forms are there. So before I move on, let's say I want to upload the forms, upload the forms as a document and then share that to the portal. So I'll of course be uploading those now. I have the forms ready for client review and signature. Upload those. All right, and I'll share these to the portal. Share it to portal. And then also we'll make an invoice for the filing fees, bio fees for naturalization. So let's make a trust request. 25, I believe it is, if I remember correctly. And we'll create the invoice. Of course, from here, we'll just go back to the matter and we'll share it. Share it to portal. That has been shared to portal. And now everything has been done, as I had mentioned before, and we are ready to obtain the signature. So we'll click this. First, let's see the message that was sent out. So I have this basically saying that we've completed preparation and review, ready for signatures. We're ready to collect filing bio fees in order to file the package. Just letting them know basically what to do. So we'll go back to the matter, we'll go to the tasks. So what needs to be complete here: filing fees received, client signatures received, uploaded mailing receipts, and package mailed. So let's say we received the filing fees, we received the client signatures and included them in the filing. Let's say we need to upload that to the portal. We need a document for that. So let me just go and retrieve that document real quickly. All right, so I'm going to create a new file, the USPS receipt, which will have the tracking number that I can share with my client. So I will also upload that to their file in just a moment. Upload that to their portal. We have that done. So back to the message. Sorry, actually back to the tasks. So we have this all good to go. We uploaded the mailing receipts with the tracking number to the client portal. And let's say we finally mailed the package. So we're gonna click this and then go back to the matter overview. And we have it already going into this next status because I had selected the option for when all tasks are completed in this matter status to advance it to the next status. So here it is. We have the great news email coming in, basically letting them know that their package has been mailed, and we'll be on the lookout for the receipt notices right here. So you can see this email that we had just sent out to the client after it had progressed into that specific status. So let's say we're waiting a little more and finally the receipt notice does come in. So we'll click this and we'll have another message going out to them that their receipt notice has arrived. So what I'll do here is I'm saying in the message basically that I'm going to upload that to the client portal. So let's go do that. USCIS receipt notice. Go ahead and share that to the client portal. And let's go back here. So let's say finally we receive the biometrics notice. So we'll go ahead, advance the matter workflow to this status, and we'll see that another message was sent, basically indicating the same thing, that the biometrics notice has arrived. So I'll go ahead, do the same thing, upload that to the client portal, just so they can have that for their reference. So go ahead and share this to the, share this to the client's portal. And there we go. So finally, let's go back here. We have everything done. We did not get an RFE and we have an interview scheduled within 60 days. So what we're going to do here is just click on this matter status. So the interview within 60 days, of course, we know that we're going to be needing to prepare for the interview, and we basically will be preparing. And then finally, once the case is approved, we would just advance it to this final status right here. So there you have it. Not only are we able to keep better track of our progress of our matters and run reports with more important metrics, but we are also able to facilitate workflows and automations, all by using matter workflows and matter types and statuses. So now I'll use this time that we have for question and answer. I see that we have one already in here. If you have a moment and you'd like to ask a question, of course, please go ahead and put that in the Q&A right now while I just get to this first one. So, Got it. Good question. All right. So the matters that the messages that are being sent out. These are templates that you will make by just with internally in your firm. So a message template right here. I'm sorry, I didn't explain that. It's basically something we can type up and then send out to the client. So I would put in the name. This would be the message subject and then just the message body. So just to give an example, let's say case approved for naturalization. This is just what one of my templates would look like. So this is just something that you would be creating on your own. And then you could add that templated message into a workflow automation. I appreciate everybody's attendance and I hope everybody has an excellent day.